Subscribe and like our channel for more incredible stories like this one. The name David Atkins might not ring a bell at first, but I guarantee you're familiar with his comedy. That's because David Atkins is better known by his stage name, Sinbad. Under the name Sinbad, he became one of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time. His clean-cut comedy style made him a household name, combining hilarious antics with just the right edge and enthusiasm, all while maintaining a family-friendly appeal. When Sinbad was on stage, on TV, or in a movie, you could tell he was having the time of his life, and that joy was infectious. But sadly, in recent years, a serious medical issue has sidelined this comedy legend. So, it's time to ask the question that unites us all: what happened to Sinbad? To understand that, we have to start at the beginning. Sinbad's story began in 1956 in Michigan. His legal name, David Atkins, served him well in his early life. But when he started performing stand-up, he knew he needed a name that stood out. Inspired by his love for the fictional character Sinbad the Sailor, known for his epic adventures, David adopted the name Sinbad. But unlike the sailor who slayed monsters, this Sinbad was slaying jokes. Want to hear more about Sinbad's rise, struggles, and how he's doing today? Stay tuned for the next part of his incredible story. And don't forget to click on the video on screen now for more amazing stories just like this one. In the 1980s, long before viral videos or talent showcases on YouTube, aspiring performers had to prove themselves on shows like Star Search. Sinbad appeared on the first season of the show, famously beating Dennis Miller in a head-to-head comedy battle. While he didn't take home the grand prize, finishing second overall, it was enough to launch his career into the spotlight. From there, Sinbad's journey to stardom truly began. In 1986, Sinbad landed a role in the TV movie Club Med alongside Linda Hamilton and Bill Maher. This marked an early step in his acting career, which soon led to a spot on the Red Fox show. Unfortunately, the show was cancelled after just 13 episodes, but this setback turned into an opportunity. Sinbad appeared as a guest star on The Cosby Show in Season 3, Episode 15. His performance left an impression on Bill Cosby, who would later recommend Sinbad to producers, opening the door to a major career breakthrough. Initially hired as a warm-up comedian to entertain the live studio audience for A Different World, Sinbad's talent and charisma stood out. Thanks to Cosby's advocacy, Sinbad joined the show as a series regular, playing the lovable coach Walter Oakes for 4 seasons. This role catapulted him into the mainstream and established him as a TV favorite. With his star on the rise, Sinbad explored new opportunities. In 1989, he appeared in the mockumentary That's Adequate, though critics found the film less than its title suggested. However, his career momentum continued as he landed his first HBO comedy special, Sinbad, Brain Damaged, in 1991. This special showcased his signature clean-cut yet hilarious comedy style, proving he didn't need profanity to get a laugh. As Sinbad himself put it, "As long as you're funny, the audience will respond." And respond they did, with laughter that could only be described as LOL worthy. Sinbad's career reached a new milestone when he landed his own network sitcom on Fox, The Sinbad Show. In this heartwarming series, Sinbad played a bachelor who takes in 2 orphan children, leading to classic sitcom hilarity. In one memorable moment, his character declares, "I want to be your daddy." The touching exchange captured the show's heartfelt tone. Despite its charm and a Kids' Choice Award nomination for Favorite Television Actor, The Sinbad Show was cancelled after just 1 season. Unfazed, Sinbad returned to the stage with his next comedy special, Sinbad, Afros and Bell-Bottoms. This special, like his previous ones, was packed with sharp, clean humor that resonated with audiences. Around this time, a strange phenomenon began to emerge. Countless fans claimed to remember Sinbad starring in a movie called Shazam, where he played a bumbling genie. The only problem? That movie never existed. The so-called Shazam mystery became one of the most famous examples of the Mandela effect, a term used to describe shared false memories. The phrase originated from the widespread but incorrect belief that Nelson Mandela had died in prison during the 1980s. Similarly, many swore they had vivid memories of Shazam, despite the fact that they were likely confusing it with Kazam, a 1996 movie starring Shaquille O'Neal as a genie. The origins of this false memory might lie in Sinbad's name, which evokes the mythical adventurer Sinbad the Sailor, or in a time he hosted a movie marathon dressed in a genie-like costume. Some fans may even be mixing this memory with his appearances on Nickelodeon's All That, where he dressed up as a quirky character resembling a genie. All these fragments seem to have merged in a collective consciousness, creating a movie that never existed. There's always the chance that a parallel universe exists where people happily read the Bernstein Bears, watch Sinbad's mythical Shazam genie movie, and mourn Nelson Mandela in the 1980s. Maybe the confusion comes from blending memories, or perhaps someone mistook Shaquille O'Neal for Sinbad when thinking of Kazam. Could it be rooted in something more cynical like racial assumptions? Either way, if I ever stumble upon a genie lamp, I'm using all 3 wishes to unravel the mystery of Shazam. Adding to the confusion, First Kid was released the same year as Kazam. Maybe some 90s kids did a double feature and blurred the 2 films in their memories. Whatever the reason, Sinbad and the clever minds at College Humor played along in 2017. They released a hilarious viral video on
Sinbad
April
continued
Fool's Day,
to build his
claiming
career
to
in
have
this
discovered
universe.
lost
He
footage
appeared in
of
movies
Shazam.
like
Coneheads and the Meteor
It was a
Man
masterful
in
spoof,
1993,
complete with
along
a grainy
with the
VHS
movie
aesthetic,
Aliens for
making
breakfast.
every
The
90s kid
IMDb
wish the
description
genie
for
movie was
Aliens for
real.
breakfast is as quirky
Alas,
as the movie
it's not,
itself,
and it's time
kids
we
get
accept
cereal
that some
for
wishes
breakfast.
don't come
Breakfast
true.
has alien toy. Sinbad, however,
Toy is a
didn't
lie.
need to be a
Adventure
genie to be
occurs.
magical. Happy ending. In 1995, Sinbad landed a leading role opposite Phil Hartman in Houseguest. Critics weren't impressed, calling it perplexingly unfunny, but audiences enjoyed it enough to turn a $10 million budget into a $26 million box office return. Sinbad's busiest year came in 1996, with projects in nearly every medium. He released the NAACP Image Award-nominated stand-up special Son of a Preacher Man and starred in 4 films, including the Emmy-nominated TV movie The Cherokee Kid. On the big screen, Sinbad voiced Riley in Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco, and took the lead in Disney's First Kid. Though First Kid wasn't a massive hit, earning $26 million at the box office, Sinbad's charisma still shone through. One memorable scene in First Kid involved some gunfire, which gave the movie a surprising action vibe. For a brief moment, it felt more like an action movie than a Disney film, adding an edge that made the experience even cooler. Sure, First Kid is a family-friendly Disney film, but Sinbad's boundless enthusiasm elevated the role, just as he does in his stand-up comedy. Watching him, it's clear he's having a blast, and his energy makes you want to have fun too. They should make a sequel to First Kid and use it to tackle modern political issues. Imagine the comedic gold. Still, as much fun as First Kid is, nothing tops Sinbad's next film, a holiday classic many of us rewatch every Christmas, Jingle All the Way. Sinbad shines as the hilarious yet relatable antagonist, playing opposite Arnold Schwarzenegger. Few actors could have taken on this role so effectively. While the script sets us up to root against Sinbad's character, his charm and comedic timing make us empathize with him. Deep down, you kind of want to see him succeed in his chaotic quest for a Turbo Man doll, even if it lands him in prison. His performance was so impactful that he won the Blockbuster Entertainment Award for Favorite Supporting Actor in a Family Film. After Jingle All the Way, Sinbad continued to entertain audiences with his stand-up special Nothing But the Funk. He then appeared in Nickelodeon's Good Burger as a hilariously unlucky car crash victim. This incident forces Kenan Thompson's character to take a job at the quirky Good Burger, setting the stage for a summer filled with burger-related antics as they battle the corporate giant Mondo Burger, or, as Sinbad humorously calls it, the home of the Big Booty Burger. In addition to these roles, Sinbad ventured into late-night television with his own syndicated talk show. Unfortunately, the series was short-lived and cancelled before its first anniversary. However, Sinbad remained a TV staple, making guest appearances on shows like Moesha, Girlfriends, and Showtime's Resurrection Boulevard. This versatile entertainer consistently brought his unique humor and charisma to every project, cementing his place as a comedic legend.